It is Sunday Fun Day. So, what's going to go on today? Well, it's going to be just a little bit of everything today, so it's going to be a boring video. But we did get some parts in for the car. So, take a look, couple things here. Excuse me. Look at this. Got myself a nice brand new grill shell insert. I do have the one that was still in the car, but it had a few little bends and kinks in it. So got me a nice new one. These, look at these. How cool are these, people? Here, let me get into proper light. Milliner. Used cars, Modesto, California. If you want to know where I got these, go on Facebook and just punch in Milliner. And these will come up, and there's a gentleman making them in the US of A. Now they're plastic chrome with a sticky pad on the back. And you remember, they used to use these on cars, much like I got hanging over here on the shop wall. Look at all the old original ones I got from, and I've got tons of these things from way back in the day. Well, this guy decided to make these. I'm definitely going to somehow incorporate this on my Model A and one on my 55 Gasser, and then one is for the shop. I got 3 of them. I got 3. And also, while I was at it, I grabbed this little sucker, found this little sucker. Didn't pay for this online, I just found this locally. So that's kind of cool. Gave the guy $2 for it. $2. And easily I could sell that all day long to somebody that really wants. Look at this thing. It's an original. Look at it. It's never been fucking barely used. Could probably sell that sucker all day for 15. But nothing's for sale in my shop, so that's where it goes. Anyway, so what do we get here for the car? Well, I did got my master cylinder. I'm going to try and mock that up today with you guys here. Got your little 10-pound residual valves. You want to use these when your master cylinder is sitting below. Like my master's sitting below my wheel cylinder, so you want to use some residual valves, and they're 10 pounds. Put them in there, you know. So that's perfect. I don't know if it tells you here exactly, but yeah, it tells you right. It tells you right there. The pin number. I'm trying to give you the number in case you're looking for some. I got a door hinge. My Model A was always missing a center door hinge on the driver's side door. Got that. My front wheels came in. There's the box right there. Alright, we'll take a look at it out on the car. I can hear that rain just coming down outside there today. And there it is. There's my front chromie. Because if you remember, right now the car is running 16-inch wheels on it originally. So these wheels and tires, you know, I'm not going to be using, but I'm going to keep all these because I have my eye on another project. Yes, another project. Can you believe it? But anyway, we're not going to talk about that right now. So my 15-inch wheels are in for the front. I'm just waiting for the ones for the back. These are 5 inches wide, if you're wondering. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to pull the rad out of here. I don't need it in here no more. That's all done, finished. I'm going to yank the steering box out. I'm going to have the steering box gone through. I decided there's not much in them but a worm gear and that, but I'm going to have it checked out while the car's being built. Why not? And while I'm at it today, like I say, we got the master cylinder there. You can see I took the door off on this side. I took the door off. So there's my brake pedal set up right there. So I want to I'm running drum brakes all the way around. We got 44 drum brakes in the front, and we got a 57 Chevy posi rear end of drum brakes in the back. But I want to put a dual master cylinder. So I got the, you get a choice between a Corvette or a Mustang, early 67, 70 Mustang master cylinder, or a Corvette Mustang 1-inch bore. They are the ones you want to use. So I'm going to get this pedal set up out of here, pull the steering column out, and see where I can go. But I think, well, the first thing I'll do is I'll remove the brake pedal setup. I'll leave the steering column at the moment, because if I can figure out the brake pedal setup, well, then I can figure out my floor. And I'll need the column in there to figure the floor out, right? So I'll get that done. So that's the plan there. What else is new and exciting with this car? What else can I tell you? I think that's about it. Like I said, a couple things came in. By the end of this week or by next week, the body's ready to come off the frame. It's just ready to be removed. And then I can start on the frame. But we're going to bring our new project in too at the same time that I keep telling you guys about. So we are very, very close. Still waiting. The headers didn't come in yet. I'm not too concerned about that. They are what they are. I mean, I know they fit this car, so I like to fit things beforehand, but they're not here, so let it be. Who cares? We are working on some of the stuff over here at Sean's end. Actually, there's the door. There's the door. You can see the door. This is body filler that was on it. We've stripped the door down. Stripped her all down there. So, that's a good thing. And then, I'm over here. Here's my headlight rings there. My headlights. My cowl. It's all ready. That stuff's all ready to go to get primered. There's my dashboard up there. It's all ready for final primer. And my gas tank. It's a new gas tank, but I took it down anyway and had it flushed to get the gas fumes out of it, because we're going to sand that and primer that, and we're going to paint that. And then I'm going to put the gas tank in the car painted. I'm not going to cover it with upholstery. Then I'm going to have a bunch of pinstriping done on it. So I think that'll look really cool. And somewhere, I don't know where it's gone. I don't know what Sean did with it. Somewhere he was working. Huh. Isn't that weird? Let's look around here. I don't know what happened to it. Somewhere he had my window frame, my front windshield frame. Huh. And he was working on it. Isn't that weird? It's just gone. Oh, there it is down on the ground there. Right there. So there's the windshield frame. He's working on that. Getting it all ready. So excellent. So let's get back in the shop. Get out of the old body shop. Get over here. And let's start by playing with this beast. I think I'm just going to jump right in. I want to get this rad out of here. I'm worried something's going to poke a hole in it or something's going to do something to it. So I'm going to get the rad out first. Once the rad's out, we'll start on the brakes here and we'll start ripping that apart. So let's go for it and see what happens. Okay, so I got the radiator out. Got in here, started playing around a bit with my aftermarket pedal that's set up for just a master only. Along with playing with the stock pedals here. Now you can't see it, it's too hard to see in here right now, but you know what? Honestly, this master cylinder, I have to drill 2 new holes out in my, I don't know if you can see this, I'm getting underneath here, in this rail here. I have to drill 2 new holes out to fit the master, okay? The major hole that's cut down in here, the master doesn't face this way, I've just set it here, it actually goes on the other side, okay? The major hole that's cut out for this proportion of the master to come through is exactly what I need. It's the right size. So I'll drill 2 new holes, take this master, I'll flip it around, it'll come up the other side here on the back side and mount. It looks to me like this original pedal setup will work with this master cylinder. Just got to lose the clutch pedal off it. Or if I wanted to play a sneaky, I could leave the clutch pedal hooked up on a spring and make it look like the car's a standard when it's not. But that would be cheating, because let's face it, if you're running a standard, you're running a standard. I'm running an automatic. I know a lot of guys are like, hey, you should have put a standard in there. And I said in the earlier videos, if you're paying attention, I'm going to drive the shit out of this car. I'm going to take my friends, going to take my wife with me. We're going to go for cruises. I've already got bad knees. I'm going to put a standard in the gasser. That's guaranteed. More room, more leg room, more comfortable. This car, I just want to pop it in the gear and go. It's my car. I'm going to build it the way I want. I really, deep down inside, if I had my way, I'd probably, you know, if I was younger, my knees weren't so sore, maybe I'd go a standard. But right now, it's just going to be an automatic. I'm going to have fun with it. My 55, that'll be a that gasser there, that'll be a standard for sure. All right. I'm not building my Model A here to be like a tire smoking machine, even though it will be. I'm not doing that with this car. It's just my fun cruising car. But so with that being said, I will lose the clutch pedal, but I'm positive I can use this brake setup. I think I can use it. See, I'm all about hot rodding, and before I'm going to start to use this aftermarket one, I'm going to try with what I've got. I went and bought the aftermarket one locally, got it at the hot rod shop near here. I bought it because I wanted to have it here because on Sunday no one's open. So I wanted to have it. So if this didn't work out, what I was thinking, then I've got this, which would be my alternative route, which would keep me going on this build. You want to keep going. So, I mean, you can always return parts, which is what I'll do with this. But right now, I'm thinking this is going to work. So I'm going to get in here. I've put the master cylinder on this side of the car because I'm holding it up this way to see where I got to drill the holes and mark it on this side. Because for me to hold it underneath the car and try and mark the holes, it's just impossible. This is when you kind of wish that either the body was off or the floor wasn't finished yet. But it can be done. You just got to work around shit a little more. So that's where I'm at right now. We're going to drill some holes, mount a master, and see if we can't use this original pedal setup. Okay, let's see if I can get in here and I'm trying to think the best way to film this for you guys. You can't really see this way. Let's see. Sorry, guys. Anyway, I managed to mount. I drilled the holes out on the frame rail to allow me to mount my dual master cylinder. There it is. I took the cover plate off here for now. Just, it's got to come off anyway. I can't leave all this bare metal, so I got the master cylinder mounted on the cross rail from the frame. This is a 32 Ford frame, remember, even though this is a 31 Ford. And like I said, I had bought this and was going to use it, universal brake thing. But I thought originally I wanted to see if I could use the original one, and I am. I have no issue whatsoever. Let me get around here and show you from the other side. So come around to this other side here. So the master cylinder, like I say, is bolted in there. Here's my brake pedal assembly. Now, as you see for now, just quickly, so don't be taking this, that's what I'm doing. It's the exact thickness of a nut. I spaced it out. Now you can buy, I want you guys to remember this, they do make, Speedway Motors has an adapter you can buy that bolts on here, allows you to mount this master cylinder. But I don't know why you need it. Because I bolted the master cylinder to the frame. Then what I did, because you can see there's the two bolts, see them two bolts right down there? That's the two bolts through the frame. But it interferes with this bracket a bit. So all I did was I made sure to have an adjustable rod that goes on my master, an adjustable rod. I can set it to all different lengths. I've just used a nut for now to put in here. And that nut is just roughly just under a ½ inch. So that spaces it out, which gives me the space for them bolts down there for the master. Alright? And those easily come off because all you do is a nut comes off from the other side of the master cylinder in here. And I can hold it with a wrench there. So there we go. There's my brake pedal. It's up. It's nice. Lots of movement. There that sucker. Comes right, comes right back on its own without even a spring on there. I have access to put a spring on it, which I will. Alright. I don't see an issue whatsoever. This is exactly sitting where it was when I had the original 40 Ford Master in there. The pedal's in the same spot. So I think this is going to work out just fine. See if I can get underneath the car here and give you guys a shot of it. Today's going quick. To be honest with you, normally we get out here on Sunday at 10 o'clock. I'll be honest with you guys. Today I didn't get out here till noon. Just had some running around to do. Had a bunch of parts I had to return and stuff, so today's a shorter day. But that's okay. Now, there you go. You can kind of get a glimpse of it from underneath there. And you can see there's the one hole. Oh, the other hole's kind of buried. It's under there. But these two holes still line up, so I can use all 4 mounting points for the brake pedal assembly. Now, like I say, Speedway makes an adapter. It goes in behind here, and I think what it does is it just spaces it out like I just did, so you're not touching this. I'm not 100% for sure on that. I think the adapter's like 50, 60 bucks, but I mean, I don't need it in my opinion. This is going to work out just fine. I'm loving it. I'm loving being able to use what I find here and keeping it old school, because that is old school traditional pedals in there. You don't get any better than that. So it looks like I'm getting me back 130 bucks. More Model A money. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to drag that back. Well, maybe I'll leave it in there. I think I'll take the column out now, get the column out of there, and that's not a big deal because it's already loose. I've already had it out once before. So we'll get the column out now, and then we'll continue on with something else. I don't know where we'll go. Like I say, the day is ending quick here, but I'm just happy to get the brakes figured out. Because if the brake's figured out now, if I... Actually, no, I got to leave the column in. See, I'm jumping ahead already. You guys on the video probably know this. I got to leave the column in. I got to do the floor now. Brakes are figured out. We got to get the floor in there. That's our next step. Okay, back in a second. Okay, so I tacked in a frame piece across here. Got it welded in where I wanted it. Put another piece across here. And I made this little last section of the floor that goes over here for the hump. Got that all made. It comes down and it gradually disappears and goes away, just like it should. Got it nice and rounded. So there we go. Just grind the welds down good enough. I'm not getting too carried away with grinding the welds, you know, smooth as a baby's ass, because we're going to be putting some epoxy primer down here, then some Raptor, then we're going to be putting Dynamat down, then we're going to be putting carpet insulation down, then carpeting. So there you go, right? But it looks clean, it looks neat, so we're going to work on this piece here next. Going to get that piece made up. That's pretty simple, flat, couple ribs in it, much like the other side has. And then it's the upper piece that's could be a bit of an issue. I just don't think I have enough metal here, this 16 gauge for that. And the day's disappearing quick, God. Like who would think? I started at noon thinking, you know, big deal, and by losing that 2 hours, it just goes quick. It's almost 5 o'clock already. Fuck. 5 hours to do a little bit of floor work and figure out a master cylinder and take a rad out. Unbelievable. But anyway, some days you don't get as much done as you want, and other days you get way more done. It's just the way it goes. Okay, so I got the next step in. Got that piece all in. So now it's the upper piece up here. So I'll get some measurements and see if I got something here, but I honestly don't think I do, not in 16 gauge. I made the floor out of 16. Most cars, the sheet metal on the outside is 18 gauge. Brand new cars, like Hondas and new trucks and all that, nowadays, they're like 20 gauge, believe it or not. Sometimes even thinner. But yeah, so I did the floor in 16. I always like to do the floor a little heavier than the body. So I don't want to all of a sudden, you know, put a piece of 18 gauge in there. So let's see what we can hopefully find. Take a look. But it's come along good. I'm very happy with it. It'll look awesome when it's done. Took the wheel off, put the wheel back in the box where it belongs, and just jam the old wheels back on it again. Yeah, looking real good. Okay, we're gonna call it a night. I did find a piece of metal, amazingly. So I started to, you can see I've started to recess it around there for the dip in the firewall. Kind of cutting it over here, getting it ready, kind of putting the bend in the lip so it joins down below. There's a gap here, I know that, but I got to make a separate piece. It's just going to screw down over top, because I have to have a removable piece to get the steering column in and out and to get the brake pedal in and out. So I can't just have a piece with a small hole cut through it for this stuff. So I'm going to have, this piece will be welded in place. I'm probably going to chop a little more out of here, believe it or not, even though I don't need to, I'm going to. Then I will make a piece that screws around that you just lift off, so when you want to remove everything. I want to have lots of, like, access is what I'm after. The word is access. I want to have lots of access to everything. I don't want to build this car so everything's tight, cramped, and I can never get to it. So, like I say, if I take, I'm probably going to take a little more off the side here, maybe just a 1/4 inch. I'm going to come down here, take a bit, then this plate will be welded in solid, and then we'll go from there. So I'll end up doing that, you guys, probably during the week here. You won't get to see me do that, but I'll show it on the next thing. Sorry this video never had a lot going on for you this time on the Model A, but I did figure out the brakes, and I'm happy about that, to have a dual master cylinder. I'm keeping my brake pedal set up, which is from a 46 Ford pickup. I'll remove the clutch pedal off it. I will remove it. Get that out of the way. So we got tons of room in this car. I'm happy with that. So everything is coming together really well. So our next step is to, well, finish that off, figure out the gas pedal mount before anything else, before I remove the body, and then I think it's time to remove the body. I'm certain it's time to lift it off. Lift her off there, and then start working on the frame and bring in the new project. Oh, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. You wait. Anyway, Again, sorry, wasn't the most exciting Model A day for you, but something got done, and that's all that matters. That's how things get done, a little bit at a time. So hey, remember, it's always good time at old time. Big hurrah to the truckers out there in Canada, and we'll see you during the week here, showing you what we're building for customers.